PSMAPP class.
PSMAPP.
Yeah.
That's what I would call it. So we got our first group of papers.
No, that's not the papers.
Well, it's quite a few papers, but yeah, then they gave us basically a dictionary.
Get a read on.
They don't prepare you for that amount of paperwork. Yep.
And they don't fit.
Yep. They didn't tell me that I needed basically a duffel bag to carry all this paperwork.
I think the class was exactly what I thought it was going to be. I pictured it as us all sitting at like business desks with rolling chairs. We didn't have rolling chairs though.
No, it was kind of disappointing. Yeah, it wasn't, I mean, it was a little bit of information this time, but it wasn't a whole lot of detailed.
They said the first 3 meetings are kind of boring, just like this is what it is meetings, and then the last ones are a little more interactive and you learn more.
Yeah, the first ones are kind of like the legal terminology and the laws and the codes and stuff like that.
Well, and you learn who all you're going to work with, because it's you as the foster parent.
It was like a whole list. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's a good class. This is class number 3. It's supposed to be more, I don't really want to say interactive, because I don't really necessarily like interacting.
And that's what it is.
But I think she would use the word interactive.
Yeah. Well, today's the day that we sit with our home study person, which happens to be our teacher, but not all of the people it's like that.
So we had how many classes now? 3?
3.
3 classes. It's a lot of classes. It's 9 hours total. Third class was all about loss.
That was an intense one.
3 hours of nothing but devastating losses. What happens from the losses are 2 different types of losses. I don't know the names of them. What? Yeah. See, I wasn't going to try because I know.
Loss.
But I don't know.
And situational loss.
One situational.
And
I know
like
that word.
materialist. I don't know.
It's definitely
not materialistic.
It's an M word. I tell
It
you
is
that.
an M word.
But one, you lose something, but you always gain something. The other one, the situational, you lose something unexpectedly and you don't gain anything from it.
Well, and then we had to go over like losses that we've had,
Yeah.
and how we dealt with it, and how we could have dealt with it better, and why it helps us relate to their losses.
Yeah. But we have our first home study.
Wednesday, this coming Wednesday.
Yeah. So 4 days from the class, we have our first home study. 3 days from today.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping for like a month. A month down the road would have been cool.
Yep.
Because we have just like a mountain of work to do.
Our house is complete chaos right now.
We've been to Menards, I would guess, 10 times in the last week.
Yeah. Multiple times a day.
We went twice yesterday. We already went once today. We're probably going to go again.
Yeah. You would stop barking.
Yeah, we had a home study. First one. You guys want to go outside? Come on. Let's go outside, Rocco Miller.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened. We had a home study. First one. Well, our first real one, we actually started to have one that only lasted for 20 minutes that we prepared for about 5 days because we were so nervous. We set out a fruit bowl, people, and we don't eat fruit.
I eat fruit.
Typically.
You always say that. You don't eat fruit.
You don't really eat fruit around here.
I have oranges in there right now.
But we didn't start doing that until we prepped for this lady to come over. And then you're like, we might as well eat the fruit. It's here. That's pretty good. And then we've been buying fruit, basically. But, yeah, like we prepared pretty hard for the first one. Like, 5 days straight, nonstop, like stop to eat a little bit and sleep, and that was it.
Like
Didn't go to the bathroom for 5 days. Took a day off of work. You did. The day of the home study, so she could do some finishing touches on the house.
Like, we cleaned out drawers and stuff, which they said, don't do that. They're not going to look. But we didn't listen. We did it anyways. But anyways.
Yeah, it only
did a lot
lasted
of
for
work.
20 minutes because she had a family emergency that she had to go take care of. We rescheduled it out for 2 weeks after that, so we had some time to do everything that we did. So we didn't need to rush.
But it went super good, home study wise. Like,
Yeah, it was.
We
It
were
wasn't. Don't worry about it because it was nothing. Like, we were really worried about.
even though everybody says, like, because I do a lot of reading online, everybody worries too much. It's really not that big of a deal. They just come in, they make sure that you don't have a filthy house, and make sure that they're safe. Like, that if you have.
Yeah, like, don't keep your kitchen knives on the floor. But it's just
Usually.
common sense stuff, like covering up your outlets, which really she didn't check for that, but
I think she just seen it. I mean,
we do
covered.
it. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing major. Stairways should have a gate of some sort at them so they can't go up the stairs, fall down. Both ends of the stairway should have a gate of some sort. All the bedrooms that you want to use.
Yeah, the fire safety is probably the thing that a lot of houses don't have that you have to do, which, I mean, because most houses have fire safety, but they're very specific about what you need. Like, you need a
It's actually like in the middle of the sentence.
fire alarm. I'm interrupting you. You need a fire alarm in each room, on each level, in each living area.
You might not. I don't know. I can't confirm that.
It says it on the papers, and she came and. What were you saying?
I forgot.
Okay. Part of our thing, we did a lot of work was because we redid our house as far as like where rooms are.
Yeah. Yeah, we moved our bedroom downstairs, which we probably said before. Made that room into a bedroom because it was a room, it had 2 doorways, no doors. Neither one of the doorways had doors, and there was no closet. But yeah, we did a lot of like home remodeling.
Yeah.
To get ready for it, which
I'm sure
most people probably won't have to do.
Yeah.
But the bedrooms that you want to use, you have to have doors on them. I know it sounds kind of funny, but for us, we have 3 bedrooms in this house and only 1 had a door. She basically just sat down and talked with us more about our family history, how we grew up, ways that we were disciplined, ways that our family, showed that they were proud of us, and just kind of where you came from is what they were more interested in than the house. I felt like on this last one.
She was interested in the house, but
yeah, we
took
her on a tour of the house.
She just said, "Take me on a tour of the house," and
I think
we went on a tour. And I just think she didn't have much to talk about.
Yeah, I think that was just if she's seen anything obvious to point out. Like she pointed out that we needed a door in the room upstairs,
which we already
knew.
Yeah.
But I think that's what the first initial home visit is supposed to be for, is obvious things. But yeah, you need to have a smoke detector in every room that you're using to live or sleep. Carbon monoxide on every level. Fire extinguisher. A main one. I can't remember if you have to have a main one and a secondary, but I'm going to put one upstairs.
I think you only have to have one.
Yeah. I think so. I'm going to put one upstairs and then one in our kitchen as our main one.
For our setup, it makes sense to have 2 because...
We got 2 fire escape ladders for our upstairs bedrooms, which I don't actually know if we needed those because we showed her those, and she was like, "Oh, I'm assuming you already had to have this stuff to do like respite work." She didn't sound like, "Oh, that's good." Yeah. So we might have spent about $150 too much on those.
Well, but I mean, they are good to have.
They are good to have. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for upstairs bedrooms was that the windows were like operable and
that was another thing for me. I thought maybe you had to have like stops on the windows so they couldn't open all the way, but they actually have to open all the way. large enough for a child to go through, which is kind of scary.
They have to have
think
screens
about.
on them, but most people have screens on their windows.
Yeah, I mean, for a fire escape, basically, if they need to get out in an emergency or a firefighter needs to get in to get them, basically they have to be big enough that a human can get through them without any locks or stops or anything, which is kind of odd from what I thought it would have to be.
Yeah.
Because you don't think about your house ever catching fire, but if that happens, you have to be able to get out.
Get out.
My bigger worry was a kid being up there by themselves and opening up the window and leaning up against a screen or something, but
which still is concerning.
I guess if they go upstairs, they just have to wear like a helmet or something.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a lot less scary than what I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Really wasn't anything to worry about. It lasted for about 2 hours.
Yep. Well, the second one, the real one.
The real one, about 2 hours. We'll have 2 more. I think another one next week, and then we'll have another one after our classes are over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it at the end of the classes? Either way, there's
After
3
they're
of them
over, yeah.
total. And one thing for anybody that has firearms in the home, they have to be locked up, of course. They have to be separate from any sort of ammunition. So you need to have 2 separate safes or lockable containers.
The next things we have to get done is like, home study wise, I think we're pretty well good to go. But now it's like medical exams. Like we just have to say that we're healthy enough to take care of kids. And so we just have to.
Which I've been fighting a cold, so.
So you just have checkups and fill out that you're healthy enough to take care of a child, and then or children. And then if you're on any medication, that's like
Any sort of medicine.
yeah.
That would alter any sort of mood, like anything really. That would like any sort of pain medicine, sleep medicine, anything like that that can actually alter you.
Antidepressants
sort of
or
anything.
Yeah, anything like that.
You have to have your doctor sign off that you're functioning just as, like you should be with them. You haven't had any reactions. You've been on them for long enough to show that you would have a reaction.